warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we have a new bottling from Waterford, the malt whiskey distillery from the southeast of Ireland. And this is quite a new distillery, and this whiskey called Waterford Cuvée Koffi is 6 years old, 50% alcohol, non-chill filtered, uncolored, for a price of €69.90. Probably a few euros more wherever you live due to higher alcohol taxes. This one is the oldest whiskey coming from the Waterford distillery so far. It's a new distillery, or quite new distillery, and I think they overtook a brewery. For a big name, they stopped operations there, and they said, well, all those fermenting and all these machinery, we need that for the whiskey production as well. So they took it over and started the Waterford distillery. And then they have contracts with farmers around the distillery for getting their barley. And this is the specialty for this distillery. They have it neat. So there's no mixture of barley from different distilleries. They have the concept of the terroir, so it's called. And here they describe it. Barley is the source of malt whiskey's complex flavors. Its essence determined by where and how it grows, landscapes nurture, soils nourish, microclimates ripen. In other words, terroir. This is the ground where this barley is grown and the type of barley, and this is done quite rarely in the whiskey business. There had been some bottlings from older barleys grown in the very north of Scotland, but this isn't done regularly, and this distillery just does this all the time. So there was no bottling which didn't have a special terroir. This coffee, and the name comes from the artist who designed the label. His name, I've written it down, Nathaniel Coffey. And this whiskey is a mixture from 24 single farm origin whiskies. So I think they had leftovers from those whiskey through the bottlings, and then they added all those 24 casks to give an average taste of the distillery to the customer, and they were matured in the typical casks they have for the distillery, and those are two different ones, ex-bourbon cask as well. I think they've written it here, ex-limousin, French oak and American oak. And this French oak delivers a little bit more of intense flavors, while the American white oak delivers vanillin and caramel and the lighter ones. I think this is all to say for this. It's a very heavy bottle, means thick glass. It's a blue one, not to be not to have to look for the color, do I buy this whiskey or not, so it's blue. And they have a specialty, they won't have a bad cork. Why? Well, because they have no cork. And they do not have a screw cap. No. They have, that's weird, very good for a mail order shop like ours to have a very strong seal over here. They have a glass cork. This you find at very high value wines, where you have a glass cork. This is slightly red, and they have an O-ring as a seal. So you have to click it a little bit. No, this one does not have an O-ring. This has a plastic cap in between. So you have to open it on a different way. The O-ring ones, you kick a little bit to the side, then it opens. And this one you have to tear out as a normal cork. So, very good cork, or closure of the bottle. And this is quite dark for a 6-year-old, so there are very good fresh casks used for this whiskey. And this has 50% ABV, which means it is darker in color due to the higher ABV. And there's already a lot of fruits in the air. And this is apple, fresh red apple. And this is, well, shows that this is a quite young whiskey because those aromas didn't have matured further on to darker fruits. No, they are fresh. Citrus fruit as well. And spices, a lot of spices. Yeah, have a try. Quite massive for an Irish one. Well, they have pot stills. They look very much like Scottish ones. They do not have constrictions. They do not have a reflux bowl. They are pear-shaped. So a lot of aroma from the raw whiskey or from the wash is going over into the receiver. And this you get here on your tongue together with the intense flavors from the French oak cask as well from the lighter and more elegant flavors from the American white oak. There's spiciness on the tongue. There's a kind of bread, darker bread. Pumpernickel, you know that was black bread. And a little bit of spiciness in the aftertaste, so a little bit of peppery notes. In the aftertaste, a little bit of dryness coming up. Yeah. Yeah, the alcohol is not too strong with the 50 ABV. It well fits into the aromas. They are strong. And this is one of the strongest whiskey you may have from Ireland. They are typically known for either column still blended whiskies or triple distillation, which always leads to a very clear alcohol. This one, pear-shaped stills, which deliver more of those oiliness and aroma compounds you're able to taste in this quite long aftertaste I still have on my tongue. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.